Thunder, the abominable snowman, Bigfoot, move over. Mothman is here. Changed forever when folks started seeing things. Weird, scary things. So it's not like you heard somebody else's story. And
No, no, this is our story because we saw it.
And there was a rash of UFO sightings along with the Mothman encounters. Some even blame Mothman and the UFOs for the collapse of their bridge, which killed 46 people.
I've talked to a few people who went into the buildings, heard the wings flapping.
Oh, really?
It starts with a shape in the dark. A flash of red eyes in the distance. A silence so thick that it presses against your chest. No sound, no wind, just the feeling that something is there. The legend of the Mothman is not just one story. It is a collection of sightings, whispers, and tragedies that span decades, continents, and even cultures. While no one can say with certainty what it is, those who have claimed to seen it never forget.
Hauntress. The truth hides in the dark.
The story begins in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. A quiet town of barely 5,000 people that was surrounded by rivers, forests, and a thick, creepy fog that settled into the valleys like a ghost refusing to leave. On November 15th, 1966, two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Mallett, were driving through an area known as the TNT plant. It was an abandoned World War II site filled with decaying buildings and underground tunnels no one dared to enter anymore. As they rounded a bend, their headlights swept across something standing in the road. 7 feet tall, eyes glowing red, wings folded behind its back like a giant insect. And then it moved. It didn't walk like a man, it didn't fly like a bird. It glided, smooth, fast, and disturbingly silent. The couples fled, but it followed. They sped down the road at over 100 miles per hour, but the creature kept pace, hovering above their car, watching and never blinking. That night, they reported what they saw to local police. They were shaken, not hysterical, and not alone. Over the next 13 months, over 100 sightings were reported in and around Point Pleasant. People described the same thing, a dark, winged figure, sometimes in the sky, sometimes by the roadside, always watching. A man digging a grave claimed he saw it perched in a tree nearby, staring down at him with glowing eyes. A teenager said it followed her school bus home, flying just above the treetops. A farmer found his hunting dogs missing. No tracks, no blood, just silence. There were no attacks, no voices, no messages, only its presence. What kind of creature doesn't act, only observes? Was it studying people? Feeding off their fear? Or warning them of something to come? Some said it was a sandhill crane, an abnormally large bird, possibly lost or mutated. But cranes don't fly faster than cars. They don't hover above rooftops or stare through bedroom windows. A few suggested it was mass hysteria, a town feeding on its own fear. But how do you explain identical sightings from dozens of unrelated people? Veterans, mothers, police officers, teachers, all describing the same impossible creature. Some believe it was an ancient spirit tied to the land. Others claim it was an interdimensional being phasing into our world by accident. One theory from local folklore speaks of a Shawnee curse placed on the land centuries ago. Could Mothman be an echo of that curse? Or is it something far older? Something that predates our understanding of life and death? Soon after the first reports, something even stranger began to unfold. Witnesses started receiving visits. Men in dark suits driving black cars with no plates. They spoke softly, asked few questions, and told people, sometimes kindly, sometimes not, to stop talking about what they saw. One man said they didn't blink. Another claimed their voices were too smooth, like they were imitating human speech. One store owner recalled a man who didn't understand how a pen worked, trying to write by stabbing it into the paper. These were not your average government agents. Were they trying to suppress the truth? Or were they part of the same unknown force? Were they visitors? Were they just trying to cover it up? On December 15th, 1967, just over a year after the first sighting, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, was packed with holiday traffic when it suddenly collapsed. 46 people died. Families torn apart. Vehicles plunged into the frigid water below. There were no warnings, no structural red flags that morning. But afterward, something was gone. The sightings stopped. No more glowing eyes, no more winged figures, just sorrow, confusion, and silence. Many in Point Pleasant believed the two events were connected, that Mothman didn't cause the tragedy, but came to warn them. And when the bridge fell, it left, like its work was done. Years passed, but the stories didn't fade. In 1986, workers at a nuclear plant in the Ukraine claimed to see a black, winged figure above the reactor right before the meltdown. In 2001, several people reported a similar creature near the World Trade Centers in New York, days before the attacks. In 2007, Minneapolis saw the collapse of another bridge. Again, witnesses spoke of a winged figure days earlier. Are these just coincidences? Mass panic recycled through folklore? Or is there something moving silently across our world, appearing just before disaster? Why show up if it can't prevent tragedy? Is it a messenger? A grim reaper? A byproduct of catastrophe? Or worse, something that feeds on it? Some fringe theorists believe Mothman is a watcher, an ancient archetype that appears across cultures and religions. Biblical accounts speak of winged beings called Nephilim. Islamic texts describe jinn that can take monstrous forms. Aztec mythology includes giant bird-like gods who punish mankind for disobedience. Could Mothman be a part of something much older? Not cryptic, not a ghost, but a force that observes moments of great suffering. Maybe it doesn't warn us. Maybe it just watches. Like a historian of tragedy, one that doesn't interfere, only remembers. Linda Scarberry, one of the original witnesses, later said that she suffered nightmares for years. She claimed the creature would appear at her window, not threatening, but present. Others said they stopped talking about what they saw, not because they were told to, but because people laughed. Because admitting it made them feel insane. Yet, they never forgot. Ask yourself this. If you saw something you couldn't explain, something terrifying, would you speak up? Even if no one believed you, would you risk sounding crazy just to tell the truth? Or would you keep it buried, hoping it never comes back? Mothman is more than a story now. It's a symbol, a shadow, a warning that lingers long after light returns. Maybe it never wanted to be seen. Maybe it had to be. And maybe it wasn't meant for us at all. What if we were simply in the way? What if the creature wasn't watching us, but something else entirely? Something we've yet to notice. Something coming. You tell me, what do you believe? The things we fear don't sleep. They wait, watching, whispering, wondering who will listen next. So keep your lights low and your mind open. I'm Hauntress, and I'll see you in the next shadow.